Okay, I figured out my key to success, now I'm locked in. I learned how to open doors like a locksmith. I'm uptown, I'm the one they wanna shop with. Run off with the bag, even though we don't shoplift. All that gun talk y'all want, I'm not with. It's not cool, everybody got them long clips. You gon' mess around and get one of your dogs hit. And when you do, I hope you know you're not John Wick.
What up? Welcome back. Appreciate you locking in with us. I'm Atwood, killer to my left, DK. So last night, Contender Series again.
The Contender Series.
It hasn't been disappointing. You know, it's been pretty interesting for the past couple of weeks at least.
Yeah.
And another big knockout last night from female flyweight. I think they're flyweights.
Yeah, she did acting like she was doing a knee tap and boom, big overhand.
Yeah, man, that was nuts.
And I guess that was supposed to be an upset. Dana White said right after she knocked her out, gave her a contract right after the knockout.
Yeah, I think I heard Laura Sanko say that it was the biggest upset in Contender Series.
Yeah, he was like, "Oh my God, this is," and I was just like,
just think about that, dude. People are possibly making big money on Contender Series fights. You know, because I think that I don't know if it was her or somebody else, but they were like a plus 1,000, dude. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. What do you mean? By gambling, people are making?
Yeah, just betting money. And, you know, the Contender Series has just grown so much, man.
Yeah,
I think,
it has,
like
man.
we were just saying, like, the way into the UFC now, if it's not just straight up getting a contract, it's through the Contender Series.
Yeah. And I feel like, you know, that's nerve-wracking too. It's like, hey, it's not like you're fighting, and then all of a sudden you get a call. It's like, oh shit, I'm in the UFC.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You're already in the UFC.
Yep.
The Contender Series, it's like you win more than, and you got to be exciting. You get a contract, right? If you don't win, that puts you on the back burner. All right, they noticed you, but you lost in a significant fashion, maybe. Like you just got hosed, and you just.
And we've even seen people like Bo Nickel who win quick, and Dana's still like, I haven't seen enough, come back and fight again. Yeah. Last week, there was a very good fight. I think it was the first fight of the night. Dana didn't agree with the decision, and so he said that he wasn't going to take either one of them, but they could come back and rematch on the Contender Series.
Okay.
So now it's kind of like becoming its own, it is, I guess, its own little promotion within itself. But yeah, so you had that chick, and she had an interesting story too.
Let's talk about what's her name again.
I can't even remember. I don't even think she speaks English.
Yeah.
But she was texting Sean Shelby beforehand, like, "Hey, I don't know if I'm going to make it. I have no money in my bank account, no dollars to my name." And then she made it. Obviously, she fought.
Unicy, Uneisy, so like Hennessy. Dubin.
Yeah, she's and listen, that was great, right? That was a great knockout. We'll see what she can do against the flyweights.
Venezuela.
Oh, is she Venezuelan?
Venezuelan. Yep.
But it's a cool story as well, to have no money in your bank account and then get the call, go and do it.
Yeah,
get a spectacular win.
I'm sitting here like, dude, that knee tap to the overhand, she hit.
Oh, that's
wild.
That was a great fight. And they had other good fights last night.
And you don't all the time see a flatlined knockout with girls.
That's true.
That's
true.
You don't see people get stiff. Like that girl's hands were.
Yeah, she did the T-Rex.
Yeah. I'm sure I've done that before.
Well, if you'd done it, you probably weren't awake to see it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
But there were some other good fights last night too, man. And I don't know really any of their names, but one dude, Laura Sanko said she tried to find tape on him, but they only had 30 seconds worth of film because none of his fights had gone past,
holy crap,
a minute, or maybe it's a little over a minute. And he had a good fight. He fought this dude they call the Korean Mike Tyson.
Do you know his name?
No, it's on the tip of my tongue. It's a weird name.
Tip of my tongue, but we'll see.
But he fought this Korean dude, and Korean dude ended up winning decision. But that was a good fight as well. The other guy,
Ko.
Yeah, Ko's the one that won. Yeah.
Ko. Sorry, I got all the matchups right here. Cavalcante.
That's it. Cavalcante.
Cavalcante is a popular name in the MMA world, man.
Yeah. Brazilian, I'm assuming.
Jay-Z Cavalcante. You ever heard of him? So Jay-Z Cavalcante fought in like Pride and like some other lower organizations and was the man. I want to say at 55 or 45. But yeah, he was the man. American Top Team guy. Okay. So I'm wondering, you know.
What was it?
He was
Gilbert
the favorite.
Cavalcante?
I don't know. I just see.
I want to say there was a G in his name.
Yeah. So. But anyways, yeah. So we had that one last night. Curry versus Santos. Bashi versus Ramos. Dubin versus Clark. So Clark was the negative 500 favorite, bro.
Negative 500, okay.
Wow. Dubin was plus 380.
Where did I get the plus 1,000 from?
I'm not really sure, my man.
Yeah, I don't know either. I heard them mention it. Maybe they were talking about a different night.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, what we were saying before we started filming is I think moving forward, the Contender Series kind of replaces the Ultimate Fighter in terms of...
Yeah, that's what we were talking about, right?
And think about it, man. Would you rather go on the Contender Series or the Ultimate Fighter? Sign me up for the Contender Series. Yeah. You know, I would much rather have one fight than 3 or 4. You know what I mean? And then if you lose in the Ultimate Fighter, sure, you might get lucky. Somebody might get hurt, and then they bring you back in. But, you know, you're still out.
Yeah. It's Austin Bashi guy.
Which one was that? He fought last
Rear
time?
naked choke.
That might have happened before I started watching.
He got a contract last night.
Is that the young kid?
Young kid,
okay,
man.
Yeah.
Super young kid, man.
Yep.
Stud.
Yep.
Brown belt in jiu-jitsu. And it says
like he's a wrestler, too.
Says he's a world champ.
Wrestler?
No, jiu-jitsu. Yeah. So, it's crazy, man. It's just so wild how, you know, here we are. It's like we're pulling up our phones. I'm like looking up people and everything. I remember the days it was obviously you had to have a computer in front of you.
Yeah.
And you typed in full contact fighter. That was the, you could go and see your results you could see your record on there, whether it was pro or amateur. And there was no other, it was just your record. There was no advertisements around and everything like Tapology is now.
Right.
SureDog still does that. You know, they still have the records on there, but it was SureDog, full contact fighter. And before mixed martial art, it wasn't called mixedmartialarts.com. It was called MMA.tv. And you could go there and look at your record on there too.
Did you hear about that guy? This was a couple years back. Got into the UFC by lying about his record and fabricating it all.
No way, dude.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Man, I want to say he was like from Ukraine or something like that.
Wow.
And he fought. Fuck. Hold on, I got to look this up. He fought a dude that we. If I said his name, you'd be like, "Oh, I know who he is," and that dude just smashed him. And then like it came out fight week. The media started catching wind of this. You know, he lied about his shit, and he got called out. UFC Fighter.
That's crazy, dude.
Like he fought Alonzo Menifield. Menfield? You don't know who that is?
Yeah. No.
I typed in UFC Fighter that, and then all that pops up is died.
We don't have Jamie here like on the Joe Rogan thing.
I know.
Jamie, look that up real quick.
It's Askar Maerov, a Ukrainian UFC fighter, lied about his MMA record before his UFC debut. He had a record of 25 wins and 0 losses, but after an investigation, it was discovered that his record was actually closer to 18 wins and 13 losses.
Oh, no.
He was released from the UFC after being defeated in his debut.
Oh, no. Wow, dude.
Yeah. They did like a whole documentary on the guy on YouTube that I watched.
Oh, my God,
and they fabricated fight posters.
Vastly underprepared.
Yeah, to say the least, bro.
Dude, I'm going to start using that.
Yeah,
vastly underprepared. Man, somebody, yeah. It's the way you say suck, or just things that you didn't prepare, obviously.
But just that's crazy. When and I wanted to talk about that before on the pod, just forgot and just thought about it today. But to lie, first of all, how the fuck do you even get away with that? Like they sent false records and shit to Sherdog. I think you said Sherdog, and it triggered the memory.
Oh, okay.
And then, I guess Sherdog started investigating and then started finding like little weird things here and there about the dude had like fights in China, and they basically said that he was somebody else that lost on the card. It's crazy.
So I knew, there's this dude back in Alaska. His name was David Knight, and he was an MMA fighter. And then I also fought a dude named David Knight once. And crazy, I know both of them, right? Like I was in Alaska. Mm-hmm. Fast forward, I'm in South Carolina, driving all the way to Louisiana to fight a dude named David Knight, who, by the way, I did not find out I was fighting this dude until weigh-ins.
Okay.
Yeah, so I show up. My original opponent, I think I've told this story on here before, but I show up. Yeah. And the guy I'm supposed to fight is like, hey, I'm hurt. You're not fighting. We're not fighting. I'm like, what? Okay. I was 1-1, dude. And two MMA fights. And anyways, I show up. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, who am I fighting? And I go and talk to the promoter. I'm fighting this dude that's 25 pounds overweight. This dude named David Knight. And record's 4-4. So 8 fights to my 2. Which is not it's a big.
Yeah, in terms of experience.
Experience, yeah. And so, anyways, I had to fight the dude. But come to find out, like, I started looking at his record, and he had fights on his record from the dude from Alaska. They got the names mixed up or something like that. So he had some wins and some losses from the guy from Alaska.
Huh.
Yeah.
So they got the 2 David Knights mixed up, the one from Alaska and him, and you happen to know both of them.
Yep.
So was that his actual record, or
no. Reason I know is because like I would wait a second, like Alaska. This dude fought in Fairbanks. This dude fought in Anchorage. Mm-hmm. He's from Oklahoma. I was from Oklahoma.
So how many fights from the Alaska?
It was at least 4. At least 4 fights.
Were they wins or losses?
I don't remember. This was after the fact. I saw he was 4-4, and it was mostly Oklahoma fights and some in Texas, I think. But then I started. It was after I was like, man, let me see if this guy's still fighting or not, right? And I click on him. Wait a second. Yeah. Who knows if it's still like that?
Damn.
But it's really weird whenever something like that happens.
What if the ones from Alaska were all losses and the dude was really like 4-1 or 4-0?
Yeah. Right here it's got. Here's a different David Knight. This dude's 0-1. So let me see here.
And you were pro at that point, right?
Yep. Yeah.
Damn.
It's crazy, man. And this was still during the heyday of like MMA.TV, Sherdog and shit like that, So let's see if I can pull it up. All these. So it says he's 7-14 right here.
Damn.
That's what it says.
Dude, I don't know if I would ever fight long enough for my record. If I'm losing like that.
Wow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 losses in a row. He
was 7-7 until he started losing every time.
Yeah, Oklahoma, Louisiana, Missouri, Oklahoma. All right, so this. Yeah.
That's crazy,
man. He's fought Charlie Rader twice. Huh. Yeah, maybe this is the same. Maybe they got all the fights on, but he hasn't fought since 2015. But
and the David Knight that you fought was 25 pounds heavier than you?
25 pounds heavier than me, man. He was like losing his mind because he had to cut so much weight. But I'm like, and all his team kind of left him, and he was, one of my teammates gave him like a Gatorade or something because he was like in the hotel lobby just dying. Of course, me like seeing that, I'm like, yes.
Yeah, right.
So, but I ended up, kid was strong. It was at 170. So, he cut from 25 pounds, bro, to make 170. And
damn. Why the fuck? If he knew that he was going to have a fight.
It was a week notice. I guess he took the fight on week notice. But, I mean, I've cut 25 pounds in a week.
Yeah. I thought that the dude showed up to weigh-ins.
No. He made weight and everything, but he was dying afterwards, bro. And it was I ended up going for a takedown on him. We were in the clinch, and then I dropped down for a double leg. He kneed me in the head, so I got a scar right here, split me open. I was rocked, but like I finished the double leg, came up on top, got him in a triangle. I was like, from mount, I mean, I was out of it, dude. And somehow ended up getting the triangle and finishing the guy.
Damn.
Yeah, minute 20 seconds, first round.
Nice.
Yeah.
And all you had was
had 2 MMA fights. Triangle, 1. It was in Louisiana. It was in a boxing ring, too. Yeah.
Damn. I would imagine fighting MMA in a boxing ring sucks.
It's not. Yeah, you can't. So my thing was pin people up against cage, take them down.
Right.
Get
really
the submission. Can't do that, man.
But I guess if your back is against the ropes, then maybe it plays into your advantage.
Well, it's a little bit easier, to maneuver in a boxing ring, in my opinion. Cage is like the footing, and it's weird, So,
well, go ahead.
I hate training in a cage. Number one, that's the worst. It's so hard, man. It's hard on your back. So these wall pads are like perfect for mimicking a cage,
right?
Except for their flex. They don't flex as hard as a cage. So,
yeah, there's been times where I've ref fights and the whole first round will take place up against the cage, and afterwards you're just looking at it and you're like, damn, dude.
Dude, their
back of your back looks like a blue and purple grid.
Man. I call it, if I got somebody on the wall, I'm trying to cheese grade their ass, man. They're going, scraping their whole back on that thing. I'm putting their head on it. I'm putting their ass on it. I'm putting everything on that cage, and I'm trying to push them through the cage, right? Like, you ever see like Play-Doh, you get that thing, and it oozes out of the different holes, right?
Yeah.
That's what I want to do to a person.
Turn it into spaghetti.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. So, but anyways, man, it's crazy, man. People just fabricate stuff and come up with stuff and, and pad their records too, to get to promotions like the UFC or to get into Contender Series. And it's just doing you a disservice because at the end of the day, let's say you do make it to the UFC, you do get in. You got to show up, bro.
Yeah, you got to show up. Because you make it to the UFC, you might be getting more money. I think it's like 10 and 10. And that's more than your regional circuit, but that's not like life-changing money. No. So it's like, bro, you still have to get there and keep
20
winning.
grand. And
then after you pay taxes,
you're going to
pay your coaches and, all that shit. Who knows how much you have left. But that was a
taxes on a lump sum like that. And then you get.
And I think it depends on the state that you fight in too, right?
Taxes for that for a lump sum is ridiculous. Then you get the then you got to pay your coaches. Your coaches definitely, or your management,
or both,
and both.
Yeah,
and both.
Yeah,
you have you should do that, right? Like you should. So let's out of that $20,000, let's say he gets taxed 20%. That's 20% of $20,000. What's that? $4,000, something like that. Yeah, $4,000. Then let's say you get taxed, or you got to pay your management 10%. Anything over $20,000 is usually 10%. Anything under that is usually 20%. So depending on who his management is, that's 10% or 20%.
Yeah.
Right. So you're looking at another $4,000. Let's just say 20%. You get another $4,000. That's $8,000 out of that $20,000 gone. Your coach. How much you think you should pay your coach for flying with you, spending a week with you in Vegas or whatever, or something, catering to your every need.
Does that normally go off percentages as well? Or?
Yeah, it's usually 10%.
Wow. So that's,
boxing is 33%.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, they're making more money as well. Yeah. That's damn near half your money gone already.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah. I mean, if you get some sponsorship deals and different things like that, you might
be able to cover some of that cost with.
Yeah, but nowadays your sponsors aren't really.
Well, in the UFC, they're not a. Well,
they are
still
a
have
thing,
sponsors, but it's not
right.
like you're wearing. You're advertising.
You're advertising on social media for them,
right?
Now,
exactly.
Instead of on the UFC, because you can't put your
your
logos and stuff like that. So I'm wondering though, if how Reebok was giving people money, I wonder if Venom does that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they started.
I'm pretty sure they do. And then you have some, and it's usually only like the very popular people that have the Monster championship,
Monster
as well.
Energy.
But the whole fabricating, you were talking about, like, people fighting cans. I think that was that Ko guy, the Korean dude. He said that afterwards, Senko asked him, when you see the guy's record, like, what did you think coming into it? He's like, I wasn't worried because I looked up all of his opponents and they were all cans. The dude, Cavalcante, was still pretty good, man. I'll give him that. Like, he looked pretty good.
You can still get really good guys that, they fight cans, but they show up because they've been built up, right. And then they're just like, all right, here's your toughest fight to date, man. But if you don't have, like, in the back of your mind, like, oh, I've been through this, I've been through that, like, this ain't, like, fuck this guy,
right? And also, when you haven't gone out of the first round and all of a sudden you're in the third round, it's
dude,
gas tank.
I've seen it, man.
Yeah,
I've seen it happen, dude. I've seen it happen personally, and it's Joe Selecki, finished everybody, rear naked choke. I think it was he's 3-0 as a pro. He was fighting in CFFC. I think it was either his third pro fight or his fourth pro fight. I want to say it was his fourth one. And he had Cesar Balmaceda, and took him down, got his back, had rear naked choke. Kid was fighting out of everything, dude. Ended up winning a decision. We ended up winning a decision on Joe because Joe couldn't do anything with him for some reason. And I don't know if it messed with Joe or if, obviously, it definitely probably played a factor. I know it would on me, and I know it has on me. I've been and I'm like, oh, fuck, I can't get this guy down to the ground, or stuff like that, right? So it happens, man. It happens. So it's just crazy, man. Some people have just a heart of a lion, and they don't quit, or they don't want to quit. They have bigger things in their path, and they want to accomplish. And so it's crazy, man. Some people won't tap. Some people will tap really quick and want a easy way out, want a fast way out because they're done with it.
Yeah.
So it's tough, man.
Yeah. Tuesday is a night I look forward to now, just because the past couple of weeks have just been exciting in the Contender Series, and it's a great way of seeing, people up and comer like Malcolm last week.
Malcolm Wellmaker, who I think we talked about.
He's a damn celebrity in Georgia now, man.
Oh yeah,
he's throwing out the first pitch and all kinds of shit.
In the Braves game?
No, it wasn't Braves. But
I was about to say, the Braves game?
Yeah. It's
like a local.
I think it might be like their version of like, the Savannah Bananas or the Pelicans, I
heard Pelicans they might not. There's like, sorry guys, we have the Myrtle Beach Pelicans AAA baseball team here, and they're a Cubs affiliate, and there's like $15 to $20 million worth of work needs to be done on the stadium.
Damn.
Stadium's 20 plus years old.
Yeah.
And so a lot of the investors and the Cubs don't really want to invest in
getting everything redone.
Get it fixed.
I saw a rumor that they were going to be moving the stadium.
I heard that they were going to put it right down here where the zip lines were.
Yeah, which would be a mistake.
It'd be so stupid, dude.
Yeah. The traffic down there in the summer, too.
Yeah. Well, number one.
Crackheads everywhere.
Well, they're going to park. The only parking is going to be in the parking garage.
Yeah.
Got to pay for it, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the city, that's all they give a shit about anyway.
Yeah. Anyways, you guys won't care about our small town drama.
But so next week, we've talked. Hopefully, we'll get Josh on here next week because we've talked about him so much.
Yeah.
And people that watch every week might be like, "Well, when the fuck are you gonna have this guy on?"
Yeah.
He's fighting next weekend.
Next weekend, fighting a guy 5-1. Josh is 7-1 with 6 finishes, I think, or his last 6 wins.
He's fighting for a belt too, right?
He's fighting for a title. Yeah. 135-pound conflict championship belt.
And that's going down in Pickens,
South Carolina, which is like a real small country town, man.
If you just the name Pickens,
it
just sounds like somebody that talked like this and gave it that name. Yeah,
hot two. I bet you they got some hot two girls down there.
So I sold my Jeep to a guy last weekend who lives in Pickens.
Okay.
And he was like, I was telling him, I was kind of just shooting the shit with him. I was like, I might be up there. A friend of mine's fighting. He's like, well, if you come up there, let me know. I'll take you to the best place to get wings. There are pretty women everywhere. And I was like, I looked at him. I was like, pretty women? He goes, yeah. I was like, what do you mean by pretty women? I was like, because, like pretty women like here or like there? He goes, well, they ain't like they are here. And I was like, okay.
They missing a few teeth, but they good people.
And that's up there near Greenville, isn't it?
Yeah. It's about 45 minutes to an hour outside of Greenville or something like that.
Word.
Yeah, I'm going to see my daughter up there for a little bit, too. My daughter's
that's right.
Spartanburg.
Yeah. Doing the softball thing, right?
Yep. They had their first practice yesterday. So NCAA rules, they couldn't practice till September 3rd.
Oh.
So,
you say they're playing Clemson or something?
Playing Clemson in October, bro.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Which is, my daughter goes to a Division III school. So.
Damn, I didn't know that they, like, Division III plays Division I.
A lot of D1 schools, they're, like, these are fall games. So they don't really even count to their record, right? So these are like scrimmages. And so a lot of bigger schools will get prepped and play some smaller schools to prepare them for the tougher guys, or girls in the end,
Right.
And they'll let their freshmen, juniors play probably, instead of their seniors and freshman, sophomore instead of the juniors and seniors.
Let them get some play time.
And dude, you talk about like, let's say Emma goes out there, cranks a home run, has a show out, dude. Next thing you know, she's playing for Clemson next year.
Yeah.
That would be so sick. So sick, dude. So it's a good way for, they're playing Wofford. So they're playing a couple they play Presbyterian College, which is not a big name, but they're still D1 school. So they're playing a lot of D1 schools this year, man. In the fall, and so that's good exposure, and that's good, time to see where you're at too.
Yeah,
They had practice yesterday, and it was she had a good practice. So, but yeah, see her when we go up there for Pickens, and Pickens gonna be wild, man. Be a good show.
Yeah. So I think you were telling me that they did like a tough man thing out there.
Yeah, they did a tough man.
2,000 people in
attendance. Over 2,000 people that showed up for a tough man fight.
What is the venue for this?
The Mill. It's called The Mill.
The Mill?
The Mill. I look it up and see exactly where it is and what it looks like. And
I wonder if it's like a bar.
I doubt it. Conflict usually doesn't do that. Okay. They usually do events, centers, and stuff like that. Yeah. So
might be like an auditorium or something.
Yeah, it might be, or like a wedding event center or something like that.
Old mill.
Yeah, or old mill.
Yeah. Well, that'd be cool. And who else is on that card?
Britton. Not Britton. Corey. Corey's on it, and Cooper. Cooper's kickboxing.
Oh, okay. So 3
Corey's
guys.
Going against a guy from Upstate Karate.
Yeah, that's old Stephen Thompson.
Yeah, bro.
Who's got a fight coming up? Did you hear about that?
Dude, he's older than me, man.
Yeah,
he's like 42 years old.
He's fighting. I always forget this dude's name. Saquon Buckley. You know who that is, right?
Yeah.
He's which is that dude is short. When I met him, he's shorter than me.
Yeah, it's gonna be a interesting fight.
Yeah, and Steven's like tall and lanky, fast. So that'll be an interesting fight. I think Saquon's just gonna try to take him down. I would imagine that's the game plan there. But yeah, so got that to look forward to. And I think they announced Jeremiah's fight.
Yeah, October 26th, BKFC.
They have an opponent yet?
No, I haven't heard of an opponent name yet.
Okay.
But yeah, they're doing a BKFC Bare Knuckle Fighting Championships here in Myrtle Beach. It's called the Prospects, and so it's going to have amateur. Woo! I didn't even cover my mouth. Oh man, my bad. I just shot it right at you.
You're good, man.
Yeah, it's going to have prospects, which is like amateur bare knuckle boxing, but they're going to have bubble gloves or MMA gloves on, something like that.
So is that going to be like on the undercard?
Yes. And him and Bouchard will be main events.
Right, main and co-main.
Yeah.
Brandon Bouchard, another local here in Myrtle Beach, has won 2 fights, I think, in BKFC so far, both knockouts.
Yeah.
And I'm sure they'll pepper in some more people from the area on there. I'd like to see Tomar do it again, man. Yeah. How old is Tomar?
He's older than me. He's probably 45.
What?
Yeah, man.
Actually, I wouldn't like to see Tomar do it.
Yeah. He's like 45, dude.
I mean, I saw his fight here in Myrtle Beach. It was a bit controversial, but
yeah, I missed it.
Yeah. Are you going to be at the next one?
Yep. I'm on vacation October 21st through the 26th, but driving back on the 26th.
Word.
Yeah, we're closed for a week.
Are you
that week? Yeah.
Are you just going to? Are you gonna be in the corner, or are you?
Yeah,
just gonna,
yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah. I'll be in the corner and helping Jay-Z get ready for it. We start next week on Tuesdays, preparing 7 a.m.s.
I'm gonna try to finagle my way back there to film.
Yeah, we can probably get you a little pass.
Yeah, well, I'm registered as a corner now because I talked to John with the commission. He's like, as long as you have a corner pass and the promotion doesn't care, you can go in the back and film, and you can film ringside. But there's got to be a way to talk to, I don't know, maybe Andy or something to see if we can get like a media pass.
Yes, yeah, that's what we're going to talk to. Yeah, that's what we're going to do.
That would be ideal. Yeah. Cool, man. Well, take us out.
Here we go. Thank you guys for locking in with us. We appreciate you. Thank you so much. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, and we'll keep putting these things out. You know, it's been well over a year, over 50 episodes, and yeah.
Yeah, I think this is this episode 70? It might be 70 or like 71 or something like that, but yeah.
Should have did a giveaway at 69.
Yeah. Well, you were gone. You were gone that week.
Kidding.
I
was gone
that was
for
a
the
couple weeks ago.
week. Yeah.
A great number though. But yeah, appreciate you guys, and until next time.
Thanks. Bye.